Testing, testing. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Livepeer Fireside. We have a pretty packed agenda today, so I won't banter too much and we'll get right into it. For those watching on Twitter or on YouTube, we are super active in our community. Discord is the place to be if you're interested in Livepeer. So please scan the QR code if you're interested in joining the community. That is where all the activity happens, like I mentioned. If you're a builder and interested in real-time video AI, Daydream is the place for you. We have a growing community there as well as an API for you to build all of your apps or plugins that are imagining the future of real-time video AI. All right, so for some community updates, 1 second. We have a steady fee rate over the last few weeks of around 15,000. This last week, we had 15,826. Additionally, we have a 3-year high participation rate at 51.8%. So again, thank you to orchestrators and delegators for getting active on the network. We always appreciate those who are staking and securing the network. Additionally, because of that participation rate over 50%, we have an inflation rate that is ticking down. So please stay staked, and we can continue to decrease that inflation rate on the network. Awesome. Just for a quick agenda, first we're going to have Doug on the Livepeer vision. Then we're going to have Nick, who's going to go over the Dev Connect summary. Foundation plus Doug was at Dev Connect, and we have a lot of exciting updates to share out from that. Also, we have an Embody Network update, as well as a Treat Vision demo. And Treat Vision is a new streaming platform that is being built on Livepeer's network. So without further ado, let's get into it. Welcome, Doug. How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing well. Mic check. Can you see me and hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. All right, well, I'll let you take over the stage. I know you're going to share your screen, so feel free to share, and we will jump right in.
All right, let's see. Share screen. Okay, let's see. Hopefully you can see my slides. Are they live? They don't look live yet. There we go. All right. So thanks everyone for joining the Fireside. My name is Doug Mechanics, one of the co-founders of the Livepeer project. Excited to talk today about exciting update to the vision for the Livepeer network itself. as a product that we put forward recently in a blog post that I published at blog.livepeer.org. And it's called a real-time update to the Livepeer network vision. And unsurprisingly, this piggybacks off of a sort of a big vision post we did earlier in the year called Livepeer Cascade, in which we laid out the opportunity for Livepeer to be a leading infrastructure when it comes to the future of AI video and live AI video. And we've learned a lot since then and made a lot of progress building and supporting early users and sort of validating the hypothesis. And now it's time to think more deeply at a product level of how the Livepeer network itself actually succeeds and wins in this category. So I just want to give a quick presentation and go over this vision a bit. Cool. So first of all, I want to highlight that in the last year, since we introduced AI compute on the Livepeer network as a new form of job types beyond just video streaming and video transcoding, we've seen it deliver tremendous impact very quickly. AI-related fees now represent 72% of the revenue and fees on the network. So pretty quickly in a short period of time, just a few months, it's gone from almost zero to the vast majority of fees on the network. And that's pretty validating that using all the GPUs on the network to power the future of AI video represents a big opportunity, far bigger than just transcoding and streaming alone. This is just the beginning, and we have a lot of work and potential ahead of us, right? Secondly, I think it's worth recognizing that video itself is expanding and changing as a category. And it is far more than just like single camera live streams, like the myself being streamed in this call right now. It is sort of represented by all this AI generated content that has to do with like generating gaming worlds, doing analysis on video in real time, doing really creative outputs like style transfers and AI augmented avatar generation, and all these sorts of video streams, which are not just human from one camera, but are actually influenced by AI processing as well. A couple examples that have been sort of viral lately to show the potential of this. There's a number of these, but I'll show a couple different categories. One is looking at how sort of AI video generation is going to impact gaming. And let me click through and share this video here. The tweet here says AI games are going to be amazing, right? And this is an example of a video game that is interactive, that's being generated via AI video generation based on user input as you go. And these worlds can be infinite. They can change based on what happens. They can change based on what game the user wants to play and how they want to influence it. And you can just imagine how much more fun and infinite and never ending it's going to be when you can do AI generated video manifested into like a gaming type environment, right? Let me pause this here and then switch over to another example. The second example here is more of an analysis-based example, but it's showing how AI models running on top of live video could be really influential for things like sports or entertainment or monitoring and security. Anytime you want to analyze and interpret things in real time, map them onto code models, make decisions based off of them, make investments based off of them, do analysis to help better performance, etc. So all of this is possible with like live pipelines and models running on live video, something the Livepeer network is really well suited to succeed at. So those are just a couple of examples. I'll get back to I don't know if I get back to full screen mode easily. Here we go. So highlighting our opportunity here, I think the big opportunity for Livepeer is to be the leading AI infrastructure for real-time video. I'm not going to rehash the whole argument for that. We've covered that in Cascade in the blog post, but just as a reminder, Livepeer is already a great infrastructure for AI theoretically because we have this global network of GPUs run by our orchestrators that compete and charge very affordable prices and provide high quality of service for AI processing. But it's not that differentiated if you look at it purely as a GPU marketplace. There's tons of infrastructure providers out there. There's tons of cloud services that are providing credits. Competing with all of those will be tough from a product perspective and differentiation perspective. But what Livepeer has that is unique is that we have this low latency video specific stack, and we're really great at ingesting video, encoding video, processing video, delivering video, playing video, doing analytics on video. Um, all of the protocols, all of the unique software edge cases that have been built up in the Livepeer ecosystem to handle over the last 8 years, all can be put to use when it comes to video specific and live video specific AI in a way that all these other GPU infrastructures do not have. And that's a differentiator and that's an opportunity. And this is like a big category that's coming. So this chart on the right really showcases how many different industries real-time AI video are going to touch. And you see examples in creative entertainment, gaming, robotics is enormous, where just the world generation for training data and synthetic data for training data for AI enabled robotics is a huge potential market. One one source, DeepMind at Google, estimated it could be as big of a market as the entire output of the world economy is today, based on how impactful it's going to be when you have AI augmented robots that were trained by synthetic world generation data, which is very related to the real time video stack. Um, you know, Enterprise use cases across data analysis, monitoring, and security are enormous, right? So highlighting Livepeer's opportunity is to be the leading AI infrastructure for real time video. Uh, so I want to move on a little bit to like, what's that mean from a product perspective, right? I think it means the Livepeer network, it has, to productize better, to actually deliver against this opportunity. And first I want to highlight like three things that the network needs to do if it's going to deliver here as the leading infrastructure for real-time video workflows and world models. Um, First, users have to be able to show up and deploy real-time AI workflows onto the Livepeer network and request inference on them, right? Right now, um, that's running on the network, but not in such an easily accessible, well productized, open access way, right? Like if you want to deploy an AI workflow on the network, you either have to build it into the AI runner framework or the bring your own container framework. You have to market it to our orchestrators and let them know they need to be running this and what you're going to be paying. It's all possible through the protocol and the software and the community, but it's not productized such that anyone can just like show up, press a button, and automatically have their workflow running, right? The second requirement is that the network has to be performant, right? We actually need industry leading latency for running inference on these real-time workflows and world model workflows. We have a great head start there with the different input protocols that we support that many GPU marketplaces do not. We already have a low latency video stack in many ways for things like stream diffusion and Creo 14B models that are running. We're already like lower latency than many of the alternative providers out there, the leading providers out there, and big opportunity. But we have a lot of work to do to like establish what the SLAs are, benchmark and measure our network to make sure we're delivering on them, making it clear for orchestrators how they can show up and what the expectations are and how they can benchmark and compete their own setups to deliver against this. So that's a whole slew of work that's ongoing and exciting so that we can actually market to the world. Hey, for these really popular real-time workflows, world model workflows, Livepeer has lower latency and high performance relative to the alternatives, right? And then lastly, the network needs to deliver on something it already delivers on for transcoding, which is cost-effective scalability, right? Users need to show up, pay as they go, scale up and down their workflows, and the network should automatically deliver the scale required, right? We've proved this for transcoding years ago and power a lot of big apps successfully as a result. For AI, we have to reprove this because it requires sort of a higher end class of GPUs, especially to run the bigger world models. And while our network economics should exist and incentives should exist to attract the supply, we haven't gone through the process of onboarding all the supply, building out the pools, ensuring the incentives line up so that there's always more supply than demand, right? The good news is we have early design partners who are perfect for this initiative, right? One is the Daydream project and Daydream API, which we actually incubate out of Livepeer Inc. And I encourage people to check out daydream.live to learn about that, play with the models, and register for API keys to build against them. Daydream has been growing its usage significantly. It has been working with design partners and early partners to use the API initially, and that's driving a lot of the traffic and fees on the Livepeer network. Um, there's a perfect design partner. So as the Livepeer network productizes to meet the needs of Daydream, that should be done in a way that can allow other businesses to show up and serve additional use cases and industries in these categories, leveraging the same primitives. Right. Another great design partner, the Agent SPE/Embody project. Another two different projects. Now we're going to be hearing an update, I think, later on this call from one. Um, using a real-time AI type use case to do real-time embodied avatar generation, and use the network for the processing and compute around that, and serve a whole nother use case in industry there. And again, meeting the needs of this design partner can ensure the network is set up to succeed for more and more builders directly on top of the network, right? So these are a few things the network needs to deliver. How do we do it? I think there's more to come on this front, more posts, more roadmaps to be shared, more detail. But at a high level, we're in the early stages of sort of inspiring and defining a 4-phase plan. Um, First, we can call it like the network MVP. We need to measure what matters and establish the benchmarks to show how the network can perform on real-time AI workflows and how individual orchestrators can be benchmarked so they can be set up correctly and competing in this marketplace. And this work is already well underway. And I know that the Cloud SP in particular has done a lot of work on testing and benchmarking, and is contributing to this track. And by the end of the quarter, we want to have a framework in place so that we understand how the network is performing relative to other providers for real-time AI inference. Right. Second milestone, it's really productizing this MVP, and rather than just saying, "Hey, one orchestrator, here's how you perform running a workflow." How can we look at the network holistically and say, "Hey, the network actually delivers against these SLAs in a scalable and high performance way." That means like the selection algorithms are right, the failovers and redundancy is right, competitive market price discovery is established, right? This work's also underway. It's updating everything we've learned in transcoding to really nail it for real-time AI, and underway. And probably early in 2026, we should really establish the network level SLAs, and see high performance relative to peers. And that's really a great starting point to be off and running to capture this opportunity, right? When you look beyond that to milestone 3, I think this is about um, making it really extensible so anyone can show up with any workflow and really have a toolkit to deploy these workflows, provision the resources they need, have high confidence in the performance in a very permissionless and easily accessible productized way. They don't necessarily need to make code contributions. They don't need to market these workflows to the O community to attract the supply. There should be a framework for sort of like showing up with the workflow you want to run, and the network can respond and react and scale to meet your needs, right? And I think that's like the full productization of the network, and hopefully that's late next year that we can achieve that. Um, the fourth milestone, that's really the future. It's an optimization opportunity, which is a big opportunity, but not necessarily here today. And this is like, let's actually innovate on the execution of these models to take advantage of our massive parallelism. Like how can people request and manage clusters of resources on the Livepeer network to execute these workflows in parallel using many GPUs to support one workflow? This is how we can scale out on more consumer hardware. This is how we can introduce things like fine tuning and maybe even training. on the network down the line. I think this is, in the future, but it's a big, exciting opportunity should we achieve 1 through 3, so we can return to face that. So a lot more to come on the roadmap for this and how all of the different SPEs and builders and companies in the ecosystem can contribute towards this plan, but want to give a little preview. Lastly, just sort of re-highlighting, this is all working, and it's very early days. Like, fees on the network were up 76% last quarter from the quarter before, to an all-time high of $203,000, sort of approaching $1 million run rate annually for fees alone on the network, not counting Livepeer token. This is a great signal and a great start, but it's just the beginning. We really want to 10x or 100x these fees, by the end of 2026. And this product vision, I think, is a high conviction bet that gets us there. Hope everyone is excited and inspired by it. I know everyone will have their own take on how the network can be useful and what use cases it could support. But if we execute on this product vision, it should make it extensible to support all of these, high compute needs of AI video processing for the future. So I say, let's go. I hope everyone else is along for the ride. Thank you very much.
Let's go. Yeah, just to usually have a lot of questions, usually I have a lot of things to add, but Doug, that was super, super compelling, super strong, and I don't think I have any questions, but I did want to highlight some of the comments in the community. We have adjectives like compelling, convincing, and super strong conveying of the message, stellar vision. So again, just want to give your credit for being an amazing leader of Livepeer CEO of Inc. And yeah, just, I'm curious if you have any reflections from that positive feedback or any last pieces of wisdom for people.
Thanks. No, yeah, I'm glad a lot of people are excited about it. I know that, hey, change is scary. I know that ambiguity can be scary for people. If we have all this expertise and history on transcoding alone, we know it so well, right? So it's very comfortable. And this is this new market that hasn't even arrived yet, right? Like, it's going to be this year, next year, that people start to build real-time AI apps that impact society at scale. But this is definitely coming. It's exciting. It's inspiring. It's a big opportunity. So I think it's energizing and something I think we all should be excited to work on for the coming year. But we're going to do it together. It's going to be challenging, and we'll figure it out.
Amazing. Yes. And I think for everybody, if you are feeling trepidation, I think we've historically done a lot of this together with SPEs, with the ecosystem. So tap into the community, and you'll be along for the ride. Thank you, Doug. All right, I'm fired up. That was exciting. Yes, amazing presentation from Doug. Thank you so much for showing up today and sharing that with the community. Up next, we have Nick, who's going to do a Dev Connect summary. Welcome, Nick.
Hey there.
Big thing to follow up, but you got it.
No pressure. Yes. Well, on one, can we share screen here, Anne? If I do this, are we there? How are we looking? I think we've done it, guys. Okay. So jumping straight in. So yes, I'm excited to share a recap of Livepeer's activation at Dev Connect from last week, the AI Open Media Forum. And yeah, let's get into it. So how the event worked, we designed this event very intentionally, rather than doing the usual panel format that we've all seen 1,000 times. We went for the symposium forum structure, a place where attendees, be it artists, creators, engineers, protocol devs, AI researchers, and everything, could come together, sit in circles together, and actually talk with each other and participate and drive conversations for discoveries and things. And let's see what we can discover and unearth together. We ran it with 2 parallel tracks in the day. There was the creative track that was more for artists, curators, media people, researchers, and this kind of thing. Dare I say, broadcasters and live streamers. And on the technical track, more for engineers, devs, AI innovators, this kind of scene. We also held some lightning talks in the room as well with a few projects, and finally wrapped the dayside part of the day with an all-hands discussion in which the creative track and the technical track came together, and it turned out to be a real highlight conversation from the day. People actually like interfacing directly with each other. So we can take a little look here from the daytime. You can get a little feel of how it was in the room. It was at Valerie's factory in Buenos Aires, this like giant, interesting art space, which was illuminated Livepeer green during the sessions. The room was filled out with people from across the AI and media ecosystem, creative technologists and founders, engineers, and so on, and also a contingent from the local Buenos Aires art and creative scene who were doing stuff around the gallery there, and a few other folks from around Latin America. One thing that stood out from the event is that people actually stayed with the sessions. Kind of, we jump across into, these are the active sessions. You can see the engineering and technical track was upstairs in the very interesting AI art-driven gallery space with interesting results. And yeah, as I was saying, like people actually stayed. You can see at the bottom left there, that was the closing session of the day where we had everyone all together. And that interplay of ideas and different perspectives was actually hugely valuable, somewhat unsurprisingly. So what we've been planning to do, and we were like doing in those sessions, was running audio recording. We weren't filming like people when they're in conversation together, but we were audio recording. So then we've been able to analyze all these conversations to pull out like key takeaways and observations and perspectives and things like that, which can be hugely useful for the Livepeer project broadly, and where we're going together, potential opportunities, barriers where people stand, and so on. So at the end of the day, the session ran over by around 20 minutes because people wanted to stay in the group and keep the thing going, which is incredible. So there's a lot that we're going to be sharing from this in some post-event publications and things. Think zine, something like this. There's going to be stuff coming out. We're also live streaming Doug's like opening keynote. There was also a conversation between Malcolm Levy, a co-founder from Refraction, and Alice Scope, curator from Serpentine Gallery. So we live streamed those aspects as well across on Streamplace and on X, and also and so on across like the Livepeer universe. And then in the evening time, we had this incredible party, which filled up with like 500, 600 people in the space. And then something sort of that came up through this was that people were asking like, who's streaming this? Like, who's putting this on? Because they noticed that we had these like live cameras in the space and we're clearly streaming them. And so being able to connect so clearly, like in a physical space with Livepeer is, co-presenting this party, this event, but also we're using Livepeer right now. So it's a connection between, culture and real IRL experience and this live streaming capabilities. And so this really clicked with people, and I think became almost like an incidental cultural moment for the Livepeer project, a bit of a breakthrough in that way, showing Livepeer not just as infrastructure, but as part of how creative culture actually is happening globally. So it's a really nice kind of brand perception moment there for Livepeer. So a few quick key takeaways from the event itself and like what people were talking about, what was coming up in these sessions for people. It was clear that authenticity and anti-slop is a major thing. People have concerns around AI in those sorts of areas, and therefore being able to have your kind of on-chain attestations, or dare I say IP, via say story protocol or something like that, was something that was coming up consistently. Artists, creatives describing their own creative practice as their code, their actual code, and therefore people kind of repurposing it without permission is not cool. But on the other side, people are really interested in the creative capabilities of AI. Enter Daydream and real-time AI on Livepeer. There was strong appetite for real-time AI video, people really interested in what they could build with it. Daydream is resonating strongly globally, and we had the Argentine Daydream ambassador in the space as well. Let me flash back really quickly. There he is, bottom right there, like showing what he's been building and how he's using Daydream as part of his like creative funnel and what he's doing, his workflow. And in the final session as well, we had there's people drilling next to me, so I'll jump off in just a moment. A key takeaway for us is that someone said Livepeer are showing themselves to be the technologists who actually care about what's being created. And so in an event and a giant week like Dev Connect, for example, or people coming from technology scenes that are really focused on AI and going all about it, holding a symposium event of this type, like this, bringing people together across different fields to actually explore and go deeper in tech and AI was a really, really strong thing to do. So yeah, overall, great event. Huge shout to everyone across the Livepeer Foundation team helping to stage the event, for Doug, for his keynote, and everything else. Yeah, big thanks to all.
I know you have some sound going on in the background, but I do have some questions.
Sorry about that.
No, you're totally fine. I just don't leave the stage yet. One question I have for you, Nick, is I really am compelled by this like anti-slop narrative that came out, and I'm curious, what are your perspectives on how we mobilize a movement that Livepeer is imagining AI in an anti-slop way?
Totally. I think in a funny way, it's like there's authentic ways to create and build with AI, right? There's authentic use cases. And it's as clear as people being like, yeah, don't copy paste what I do. That's not cool. If you're going to do that, if you're going to reference my work, then it's great if the original creator can be attributed, ideally rewarded economically or whatever, right? And that's kind of where we all are. It's like, how do you figure out this tech to actually have those sort of attribution aspects to it, or that kind of the way that, say, art and creativity has always been done. But at the same time, it's like, who is an artist and a creative now? If everyone can make infinite stuff instantly via a prompt and all that, right? So it's kind of, people are rethinking like what it means to be an artist and a creative and or a builder. What is the difference between content, broadly defined, and actual pieces of art and culture? Whereas, maybe content is purely a commodity and so on. The drilling's getting more intense, so I might sign off, but really looking forward to sharing more takeaways from all this event with everybody. We have one of the DJ sets that was streamed on Livepeer that we'll be sharing soon, and also the lightning talks and Doug's keynote and things like that coming soon. So watch this space.
Yeah, I would love more questions, but I'll let you go because the drilling is getting more intense.
Sorry about that.
You're fine. All right, thank you so much, Nick. Yeah, this is the last reflection for me. I think that people view the moment as everyone's oppositional towards AI, but I don't really think that's what's happening. I think people are oppositional towards the extractive and exploitative nature that some people building AI are manifesting economically. So I think that as a decentralized, permissionless protocol, we have an opportunity to present AI and real-time video AI, for that matter, in a way that is more authentic, right? Authenticity is kind of reigning supreme right now, especially in the content sphere. So how do we position authentic AI? But we will throw it to Define and let him get on with the exciting Embody Network updates. How are you doing, Define?
I'm doing great, and how are you doing?
I'm doing good. All right, well, I'll let you take it away.
Perfect. So we have a pretty packed update for you guys, and it's regarding the go-to-market and some stuff about the go-to-market strategy, and also some tech updates about our pipelines. So we had the intuition that the main go-to-market opportunity with embodied avatars were to actually go on the education. And as an intro for what we're doing, we're deploying embodied avatars running with AI agents, animated through AI agents on the Livepeer network. We currently have orchestrators running on avatars and in extremely low latency. So we have solved that problem as well. An innovation that we are doing in the network is that we're actually, instead of doing AI models for producing AI videos and AI images, which I know it's something that also be done in the network. We are instead using game engines. So this gives us the opportunity to have a really stable latency and also have a really great visual result. So the main user case that we decided is education. We had the intuition that education is a huge opportunity. It's currently a ballpark 7.3 trillion market capitalization, but we didn't know exactly how we're going to approach this opportunity, how we can differentiate in comparison to other projects. And during the latest weeks, we did a lot of research, and we found out that most of the current companies that they were doing AI educational avatars, they're looking forward, they're looking towards a structured curriculum. So they haven't yet done the actual transformation, the that is required for the AI age. And this transformation requires the learner to be very adaptive and to be ready to embrace new information and to implement that information quickly. In the education industry in general, it is very sad that the education industry itself does not actually take advantage of dopaminergic loops that the game industry exploits in great detail. So this is why games are so addictive. But why the education content is not as addictive as games? And the answer here is because many of the educators focused on the education content itself, but focus they didn't focus uh, on the actual iteration of that, how we make the learner want that. So we're creating our real-time app to be exactly able to mimic the kind of environments where gamers are able to learn rapidly. And the main vertical, which we are actually iterating at the moment, and we're also doing with our content creator, which is in the early stage of its development, is the advertisement industry, which is ballpark $670 billion market cap. So these are the two uh, main uh, main user cases that we have found and that we are actively iterating right now. So, and the other things that we're doing for going to market, we are also communicating with a lot of people who want to join our team. We have people who want to join our team without even us getting the pre-seed round, which is very fantastic, and it gives us an idea that people actually are getting that what we're building is really powerful and has real transformation capabilities. And we're also having the content distribution pipeline ready. We're just doing few iterations on the content itself to avoid cases such as Nick said with producing AI slow. We don't want that. We want to have actual educative content and content that people can use for advertising. To give you a short idea of what is possible with the content, we will show you some content that was created yesterday by an orchestrator in our pipeline using the Livepeer network, of course. You will be able to put any kind of transformative effect you want on the background and the avatar itself. So you will also be able to put your company's logo or any other logo you want anywhere in the environment or the avatar. So we think that this is a great opportunity. Now, a very brief update on the technical side. We have 13 orchestrators that are daily contributing in our pipeline, daily providing their GPU capabilities. And we also have 19 orchestrators in total that they register in the pipeline. Some of them are not very active, but we're looking at ramping at the numbers being increased daily and that the new orchestrators doing daily. So thank you so much for all of that. Now we introduced payment updates. We introduced updates that we have now a journal that you can access with your API. We're doing a conservative payment of ballpark $1.9 per workload, and we guarantee 3 workloads per orchestrator per day, with the intention that once the content is good enough, it will automatically be posted to the media pipelines and be released to YouTube so that they can showcase the capabilities of the Livepeer network and the embodied network itself. I think these are the updates. It's really packed, but we really need to be conscious of the time here. Can we go to the next slide, please? So what is coming next month? We're actually releasing the Embody Tokenized Network white paper. This is a bigger vision from just having an embodied avatar user case. It's actually about having a tokenized network where economic embodied agents can interact with each other, and they can have access to economic opportunities, partner for economic opportunities, and take advantage of an industry that doesn't yet exist. And of course, experimentations with the agent-to-agent market. So we believe that there will be trillions of dollars of growth, as Doug said previously, that they will be created in this new AI era, and it is possible, very possible, that the number of AI embodied workers will outpass the number of human workers and their GDP production capabilities. We think that this is a very likely scenario. On the technical releases, we will be releasing our 8K avatars. Now we have high definition avatars, so 1080p. We will have 80K, and of course, if the orchestrator CPU support that, they will be able to output the full quality to the user. We are also releasing next month the MVP of the real-time app to showcase to you, to everyone, the education capabilities. We're also doing some compliance checks for orchestrators. We've done that before. We really want to be ready for any regulators. We know that what we're building is complex. We want to make their job easier, and we want to be compliant in what we're doing. We also will be releasing the full Embody SP retrospective and our treasury proposal. We actually waited more than 1 month already. So we want to go for treasury proposal once we have something tangible, and make sure that we're not going for the proposal as a company, but instead going as a tokenized network. And we're so confident in the network, in the bigger vision, that we are already building a user case to deploy as a lead builder at the start of the network. And we're also releasing the content creation API free for all the Livepeer stakeholders, all the Livepeer participants, and we're getting again into the micropayment system of Livepeer with the reintroduction of the Bring Your Own Container update. Next slide, please. If you are an orchestrator and you want to join the alpha, everyone is welcome. You can just scan the QR code, read the README when you go to the GitHub, and you can just use the steps to register. The feedback that we have got is that it's very easy to do so. So everyone is welcome, and we want your GPUs. We will have the capacity to use them very quickly, and we are already using them daily. Next slide, please. And please join the Embody server. This is where all the action happens, and this is where the updates go first. And you are also able to have the opportunity to speak with other creatives, 3D artists, orchestrators in the network, and it will be a great place for you to see better what we're building. Next slide, please. And this is a content creation video that was created just yesterday from an orchestrator in our pipeline. You can actually see that this is on the early stage. The quality is higher than the one you will be looking at. It's still decent quality, but there are some issues with the bit rate in the recorder, which will be fixed, and the recording will be happening inside the game in the next month's update too. Some prompt iterations also needed. As well. We pretty much focused on the tech and bringing up all the different decentralized and centralized components that will make this tech possible to enter the Livepeer ecosystem. So the latest days we're looking at radically improving the content. You can just see what is possible with this video, and please have in mind that everything you see here is configurable, including the environment and the avatar, the face, everything. Can we please play the video? Oh, we cannot play it.
Sorry, it's I think when you embed, I can potentially, if you can share your screen with the video, that would be great.
I can share my screen. Please give me a moment. Perfect. Okay. Yes.
Fast walkthrough of demystifying attention mechanisms in neural networks 1, so you can apply it today. Anchor demystifying attention mechanisms in neural networks 1 to a simple habit you can repeat daily. Swap perspective. Explain demystifying attention mechanisms in neural networks 1 as if teaching a friend in 30 seconds.
Improvements needed, but we're in a really good way producing this content and making it better day by day. As I said previously, we mainly focus on the tech, and what you saw was 4080p from YouTube. So the actual output quality is 180p.
Well, thank you, Define, for coming and presenting. And again, the fact that you're getting video output now with the audio is amazing. So continue the good work, and we will see you next time.
Thank you, guys.
All right, and last but not least, we have Michael from Treats Vision. So welcome, Michael, to the stage. We'll get right into it because I know we're running a bit long today. So let's get into it, and yeah, enjoy the show.
Hi everyone. I'm here to talk about Street Vision. So we just launched our MVP. I'm building AI-powered live streaming applications for people to connect with each other, vibe together, communities, for communities to connect with each other. And
Sorry, Michael. Your background is a bit too noisy for presenting. So potentially, maybe we can have you present another day when you're in a more quiet place. Is that fine?
yes, sure. Yeah, I think your background is really noisy right now. I can't even hear myself. So yeah, I got that.
Alternatively, if you can't talk, maybe you can just present your screen and show the demo. That might be another way of doing it. Okay, let's try that.
Yeah, sure, I can do that. So, show my screen so this is what we have built. Yeah, did a preview integration, get the mouse connection. Yeah, this way. You've got the tokenized stream where um, you can we have the AI migration feature as well. AI migration feature to moderate our chats. So when you send a vulgar word, we have AI migrations that um, yeah, that's what we are building right now. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michael, for coming on. Apologies for the. Let me run through this really quick. Sorry. Apologies for the uh, background issues. So maybe another time you can come back if you're in a more quiet place. But I appreciate you coming on. So thank you so much. All right. So to wrap up, we have, of course, if you're watching online, please use the QR code and you can join the community. And that's where everything happens. And if you're interested in anything that Doug said, anything that Nick, Define, or Michael presented, this is the place for you to tap in and join and support everyone's various projects. And to wrap up again, if you're interested in real-time video AI, which is what Doug was mentioning, a main thrust of what we're doing moving forward, the Daydream API is available to you to build on. That is it for Fireside. Thanks for hanging on, everybody. And Michael, apologies about the background noise. Hopefully you can be in a better, quieter place next time to give us a more deep dive into Treat's vision. All right, guys. Thank you. Bye.